Okay, good evening, everyone. Sorry for the late start. Welcome to our board meeting. Can we all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Sandy, will you call the roll?
Trustee Lautner?
Here.
Trustee Zora?
Here.
Trustee Council?
Here.
Trustee Sheehan?
Here.
Trustee Stewart?
Here.
Trustee Caputo?
Here.
President DeCipio?
Here.
A quorum is present, Mr. President.
Thank you, Sandy. Okay, next up is swearing in of paid on-call firefighters, John Akalaitis and Michael Clapsaddle. The following paid on-call firefighters have successfully completed their probationary period requirements in the past few months. During their probationary period, each has completed the Basic Operations Fire Academy, becoming state-certified firefighters, and also completed emergency medical services training and are licensed EMTBs. They have also been tested on general knowledge of policies, standard operating guidelines, apparatus, and equipment, and have passed the practical driving and pumping tests for our fire apparatus. John Akalaitis began as candidate with our department on January 6th of 2022 and completed his probationary period on June 30th of this year. John lives with his family on Catherine Avenue. Mike Clapsaddle also began as candidate with our department on January 6th of 2022 and completed his probationary period this past August 4th. Mike lives with his family on Blanchard Avenue. I'll now turn it over to Chief.
We'll go ahead and start with the swearing in, and if we can have John up and a member of your family. First, if you can go ahead and introduce your family, that'd be great.
Yeah, so here today I got my, oops, oh, I'm sorry, yeah, I could be on TV as well, yeah. So this is my daughter Lily. I also have my daughter Josie and my son John. Got one more who's in college up in Wisconsin, and my wife couldn't be here. She just had surgery, so anywho, got Lily here.
Great. We're going to start. If you want to come over here, first of all, John, Sandy's going to give you the oath.
Alrighty. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, John Akalaitis,
Hereby do solemnly swear
hereby do solemnly swear
that I will uphold and defend
that I will uphold and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America
the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and I will faithfully carry out
and I will faithfully carry out
all the duties imposed upon
all the duties posed upon
and entrusted in me
and entrusted in me
as a firefighter of the Village of LaGrange Park,
as a firefighter of the Village of LaGrange Park,
Cook County, Illinois.
Cook County, Illinois.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Also, as many of you know, we like to do a thing where we let somebody, one of his family members or someone else, pin his badge on to officially make it official. So are you going to do that, Honor? You can't stick them on purpose, so if you want to go ahead. Sorry. Just open that up. There we go.
Yeah. Good. There we go.
Great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, if Mike, you can come on up. And if you can let us know who's with you this evening.
All right, thank you, Chief. All right, so I have my son Ethan with me, and then my wife Heather, and my stepson Anderson.
Great, welcome. Okay, Sandy, if you can do the honors.
All right. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Michael Clapsaddle,
Hereby solemnly swear
hereby do solemnly swear
that I will uphold and defend
that I will uphold and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America
the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and I will faithfully carry out
and I will faithfully carry out
all the duties imposed upon
all the duties imposed upon
and entrusted in me
and entrusted in me
as a firefighter of the Village of LaGrange Park,
as a firefighter of the Village of LaGrange Park,
Cook County, Illinois.
Cook County, Illinois.
Congratulations.
Also, if you want to do the honors, let me make sure I get this ready for you. Now you go like this and then just push it real hard. No, I'm just kidding. Great job. Thank you. John, if I can ask you to just come up here and join Mike. Just a couple of quick words, if you don't mind. As many of you already know, it takes a substantial commitment to become a firefighter for our department and to stay as a firefighter. And we greatly appreciate the commitment both of these men have made to our department and the village. As mentioned before, they had to complete the fire academy, become EMTs, and also become proficient and competent at driving large fire apparatus, operating them, among many other tasks and skills. Although not completely unique, you may be able to tell, maybe, that both of these men are just not fresh out of high school. We get a variety of different ages join the fire department, and they are all very important to our operation and fit in different roles. They both joined the department with other full-time careers and obviously some fairly young children. We appreciate all those efforts that they put forward in getting to this point, but also as important, if not more, we appreciate the family and for allowing them to serve. They've had to balance a lot of competing priorities and will continue to need to do so to stay proficient and stay with our department. But whether you are physically with us or with them while they're at the fire station, you are still a part of us and you are part of that commitment. Again, we thank you for your patience, understanding, and commitment and allowing them to serve the village and its residents. It's very important the way our organization is set up and how we operate. So again, congratulations, and we greatly appreciate you and your family.
Chief, I would like to say, I'll wait till they come through. As always, I want to commend and thank our fire personnel for being here tonight when we have new recruits come in. You guys are phenomenal. You put your lives on the line every day for us. And what residents may not know is that we're paid on call, and so these firefighters live in our community and they have other jobs that they go to, but they still serve and protect us. So it's an additional workload on them, but we appreciate all the effort you guys put out every day. So thank you for all that you guys do. Okay, moving on. Next, we have public participation, agenda-related items only. We'll give the fire department a couple minutes here. Go ahead, you guys. Yeah, that's good. And thank the families for being here. He's hiding it out somehow. You or him or me or you, I don't know. Okay, so public participation, agenda-related items only. If you would care to address the board, if you could just step up to the mic and give us your name. I think Joel's here tonight. They don't want to say anything? No? You're good? Okay. Everybody received the letter that they had sent us and has read it? Okay. Consent agenda, Sandy?
Okay, the items on this evening's consent agenda are as follows. A, approval of the minutes for 1, Village Board meeting August 22nd, 2023. Village Board work session meeting September 12th, 2023. B, action, accounts payable and payroll summary. Motion 1, to authorize the president and chairperson of the finance committee to sign the register for bills and authorize the treasurer and village clerk to sign checks in payment of operating bills and salaries as itemized in the check registers. And motion 2, to authorize the village treasurer and village clerk to sign checks in the payment of payroll and other bills that become due between this date and the next date and the next village board meeting, with subsequent approval of the payroll register and voucher register by the board of trustees at its next meeting.
I'll entertain a motion to approve consent agenda as presented. So moved.
Second.
And a second, Sandy, call the roll.
Trustee Lautner?
Yes.
Trustee Zara?
Yes.
Trustee Council?
Yes.
Trustee Sheehan?
Yes.
Trustee Stewart?
Yes.
Trustee Caputo?
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously, Mr. President.
Thank you, Sandy. Moving on, village manager's report, Julia.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the board. I have just 2 items to report on this evening. The first is regarding last week's chili cook-off. This was a community event sponsored by the Grange Park Chamber of Commerce and the Community Park District, held at Memorial Park. Just want to say thank you to all of the participants that either attended or submitted their chilies to this event. It was very well attended. Our own Derek Rockwell, senior planner, placed second place in the chili contest. Plymouth Place placed first, and Interfaith Community Partners placed third. So congratulations to the winners of that contest. The second item I have to report is that last week, each of us, President DeCipio and I, attended the IML summer conference, annual conference held at in Chicago, and it was a very learned event this year, and there were a lot of meetings and activities that we attended. We attended the legislative session, we attended the keynote address, as well as various conference sessions where we learned on a number of topics. I have a couple of items I'd like to report on, as they would be considered hot topics. The first is we spent a lot of time learning about the IML veto session agenda. It's right here, and I will make sure to make that agenda available to the board. There was also quite a bit of discussion regarding House Bill 2507. This is the property tax omnibus bill, and the amendatory veto, and whether or not the legislature would override that particular bill. As you know, this is a bill where an amendatory veto was issued by the governor, which came through from the governor's office in his letter to the legislature, mentioned President DeCipio's letter as a reason why he struck that last portion of that omnibus bill. And so the hope is that this does not get overridden, and that was a hot topic there, even though it only affects Cook County communities. There was quite a bit of discussion regarding the Paid Leave for All Act, as well as some new legislation, House Bill 4098 and House Bill 4099, regarding Tier 2 pension benefits legislation. And there was also quite a bit of discussion regarding the new water supply loan program. So this is a new program as part of the Illinois Revolving Loan Program, designed to help communities fund the lead service line replacement. This loan is different than their typical loan program in that it's 30 years in duration, and it's capped at $3 million per year. Again, it's designed to help communities pay for the lead service line replacements. And there was also quite a bit of discussion regarding IML's resolutions. One of their resolutions that they approved and discussed was seeking additional funding for the lead service line replacement in Illinois. And unless if there's any questions, that concludes my report. Just wanted to make sure that the board was aware of the hot topics, the conversations going on amongst mayors, trustees, elected officials in Chicago last week. Thank you.
I will add to that a little bit. This was Julia's last annual session as chair of the village managers committee, and there is nobody that's more respected down there in the IML and representing our village, Grange Park, as well as Julia does. And I want to thank you and commend you for all the work that you do. and that you did in representing our village, Julia. Thank you.
you. Thanks.
Okay, moving on. Administration Committee, Trustee Council, Chairwoman.
That's okay, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. President. The administration report is as follows. The vehicle sticker and dog license renewals are due October 31st, which is Halloween. If you have already purchased yours, thank you. All vehicles, including motorcycles, used by residents or businesses within the Grange Park must display a valid sticker or risk fines of $50 per offense. Stickers are $35, senior stickers are $15, and for those 65 and over, there's a limit of one per household in that price range. If you require a LaGrange Park Village sticker, avoid late fees and fines by purchasing and displaying your sticker by October 31st. The village offers several options to purchase your vehicle stickers. On the website, mail or drop off your renewal form here at Village Hall, or in person at Village Hall. For more details, please visit the website. The annual Fire Department Open House. The LaGrange Park Fire Department will be hosting the annual Fire Department Open House to promote Fire Prevention Week. Join them on Saturday, October 7 from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Fire Station Number 1 for this event, which will be free. There will be many educational and family-oriented activities, including demonstrations on cooking fires, fire sprinklers, practicing fire escape planning, and fire truck rides. The public is invited to learn or refresh some valuable safety skills and knowledge while having fun. Refreshments will be served. Save the date. The village's annual fall cleanup day will take place on Saturday, October 14. Eligible residents must purchase 5 refuse stickers from the village and place their items at the curb by 6 o'clock a.m. Visit the village's website for more information and a list of acceptable items. And that concludes my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Trustee Council. Moving on, Building and Zoning Committee, Trustee Zora.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to report the building department activities for August of 2023. 97 building permits were issued in 2023 compared to 102 issued in August 2022. As of August, the pace of permit submittals year to date is lagging behind the pace of submittals at this time last year by approximately 12%. Estimated construction costs for the month were just over $12 million, which is significantly more than the valuation of $1.6 million in August of 2022. The steep increase can be attributed in large part to the issuance of building permits for the Grange Park Library renovation project, the new Aldi store, Nazareth baseball field improvements, and 4 single-family homes at Kensington Place. Permit fees collected were just over $143,000, which is also significantly more than was collected in August 2022. 195 inspections were conducted this past August compared to 2,203 in August 2022. 2 inspections were not approved. The department completed a total of 65 plan reviews last month with 58 approved and 7 denied. A total of 19 new code enforcement cases were recorded last month with 5 cases closed out, and the remaining 14 cases needed further action. I have one item for discussion and action. Jewel Food Stores, Inc. and Woodman of the World Life Insurance Society is the applicant, submitted plans to repave and install parking lot landscaping to portions of an existing parking lot at 507 East Woodlawn Avenue in the Village Market Shopping Center that serves Jewel Osco. The subject property is located in the C2 Commercial Zoning District and is bounded by Oak Avenue to the north, Woodlawn Avenue to the south, Homestead Road to the east, and Sherwood Road to the west. The property is approximately 6.4 acres in area and is improved with a 1-story commercial building, the Jewel Osco, a 1-story commercial building with a drive-through, the vacant Fifth Third Bank, and surface parking lots totaling 300 parking spaces. Section 153.208A of the Village Zoning Code requires site plan review and approval granted solely by the PZC prior to any construction or alteration of any parking facility providing 10 or more parking spaces. This includes replacement of pavement with new binder, surface courses, construction of curbing, and installation of new parking lot landscaping. Additionally, Section 153.237B1B of the zoning code requires that existing parking lots be brought into compliance with parking lot landscaping requirements when over 50% of the total area of an existing parking lot is reconstructed. The applicant filed an application for a variation to reduce the number of required interior parking lot islands from 14 to 9, eliminate islands from 5 required locations, and reduce the number of required shade trees from 26 to 9, I think there's a misprint, to 20 trees. The Planning and Zoning Commission held a public hearing on August 15, 2023 for the variation application. The applicant attended the hearing and provided testimony. The minutes from the meeting, the court reporter transcript, and approved finding of facts are located in our packet. Upon conclusion of the public hearing, the Planning and Zoning Commission recommended by unanimous vote to deny the variation. The Planning and Zoning Commission concluded the applicant did not satisfy its burden of providing that complying with landscaping standards created an undue hardship or was difficult to achieve because of unique circumstances of the property. However, the commission concluded that the variation, if granted, would not alter the essential character of the locality. After the PZC hearing, the applicant filed a revised landscape plan for the village board's consideration, which adds 1 additional landscape island in the center row of parking immediately in front of the jewel store. The new landscape island will be 519 square feet and will contain 2 shade trees. This increases the total interior landscape area to 5,155 square feet, which is above the 3,744 square feet of total interior landscape required. The zoning code requires 26 shade trees for the entire parking lot. The revision also includes 11 shade trees in the interior parking lot rather than the 9 proposed by the PZC. 9 shade trees in the eastern side yard rather than the 11 proposed at the PZC meeting, because it is now installing 2 additional shade trees in the new island. Minor changes to the number of shrubs, perennials, ornamental grasses located in the west lawn and southeast landscape island. These plantings, together with the 7 ornamental trees, are additions to offset the reduction of the required number of shade trees. The zoning code requires that Jewel Osco, 46,637 square feet, provide at least 140 parking spaces. Currently, the existing Jewel Osco parking lot has 193 parking spaces. In order to accommodate the additional island, 2 parking spaces have been removed, reducing the parking to 171 spaces, 159 standard, 12 accessible. Assuming Jewel will use 10 parking spaces for car corrals, applicant revised the plan still exceeds the minimum parking requirements. Given the recent submitted revision, the village board has the following options. We may approve an ordinance granting variations for the applicant based upon the revised plan. This will require an affirmative 2/3 vote of the trustees or 4 trustees. Ordinance 1210 is attached in our packet for our consideration. Number 2, the board may vote to refer this back to the PZC. Number 3, the board may vote to deny the variation. So I have 3 motions. I will read all of them and then I will make the motion for the motion that I am supporting. So the first one is to approve an ordinance granting variations for 507 East Woodlawn Avenue, South by Jewel Food Stores, Inc. and Woodman of the World, case number 23-0016. The second is refer case number 23-0016 back to the Planning and Zoning Commission for further consideration of the revised plan submitted by the applicant. And the third is to deny the variations for 507 East Woodlawn Avenue, South by Jewel Food Stores, Inc. and Woodman of the World, case number 23-0016. So now I will make a motion for the motion I'm supporting. I will make a motion to approve an ordinance granting variations for 507 East Woodlawn Avenue, Stop by Jewel Food Stores, Inc., Ed Woodman of the World, case number 23-0016.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion, trustee Zora?
Thank you. So I wanted to make everyone aware that after the denial of the PZC, the applicant revised landscape plan and added more trees and additional landscape, and did this, remove 2 parking spaces and still meet our parking requirements. I mean, I feel like we should approve this. They have made changes to kind of counteract the previous denial, and I think Jewel has been a good neighbor, and I'm in favor of this. Thank you.
Thank you, trustee Zora. Before we move on, I'd like to just commend the zoning board. They did their due diligence and they came up with what they thought was the best proposal, but they also did further investigation and worked with Jewel to create 1 parking space for us, but the additional landscaping and parking lot. So I want to thank the zoning board for what they've done. So moving on, I'd like to ask trustee council.
Thank you, Mr. President. I fully support this, as Jewel has been a great asset to this community. They're a very large part of our retail sales tax base, and I am in total agreement with improvements that need to be made, not only exterior, but I'm sure at some point in the future, interior as well. And as my fellow trustee Zora commented, they've been a good neighbor to us, and I thank you for your efforts. I'm fully supportive of this.
Thank you, trustee Council. Trustee Sheehan?
Thank you, Mr. President. I, too, agree with trustee Council and trustee Zora. I welcome the changes. They've been a great anchor, also a great community stakeholder. Any events, you guys are always willing to do stuff, and we appreciate the support. And after reading toward the beginning that it won't alter the character, it's our big anchor to the village market, and I support it.
Thank you, trustee Sheehan. Trustee Caputo?
Thank you, President DeCipio. I also agree with all the trustees so far that are in agreement with this. I've been in the community for over 20 years, and Joel's been a great anchor for the community, and me growing up as a child and having all the staples we need and being locally in the community without having a far commute and drive. So I think the background that we did on this and coming to an agreement is going to be a great opportunity for everybody, and a little facade improvement change, helps, make things look good for our community and for your business. So I'm in support of it as well, too.
Thank you, trustee Caputo. Trustee Stewart?
Thank you, Mr. President. I agree with all my trustees as well. I think that Jewel is a staple to our community, and these are much needed beautifications that will definitely enhance the look of that area, so I approve.
Thank you, trustee Stewart. Trustee Lautner?
Thank you, Mr. President. Obviously, there's a lot of work that's gone on into this and a lot of review, and I went back and looked at the text in preparation for tonight's meeting and the thinking behind the outcome of the Planning and Zoning Committee's work and the response then that Jewel carried forward as a result of that discussion and subsequent additions to the plan that they brought to us. Which I think is certainly indicative of the type of organization that's been here and served our community for many years. Being around in the area and attending many other Jewel stores, I mean, I think they do a top-notch job whenever they do that. And seeing their response to the concerns that are planning and zoning, I think speaks very highly of the plan that they want to bring to the village. So I certainly, in spite of the outcome of that vote, but I see that the work of the planning and zoning has been significantly positive, and the fact it's not going to change the look and feel of the environment. I certainly support this, and along with the rest of our trustees here, and look forward to the many improvements that Jewel's going to be continuing to bring to our community, and appreciate all their investment and their contributions to the plan that they put forward here.
Thank you, trustee Lautner. I will add for the board's edification that Julie and I had met with Jewel last week, and it was on such a short notice on our part, but they were immediately responding and wanting to meet, and the day we picked was the next day at 1 o'clock. They were all there, corporate was there, it was a phenomenal meeting. They are so eager to do good in our village and to create a Jewel that we're all going to be proud of, that we're all proud of now, but what they have in mind in the future is just music to the ears, and I'm so grateful for, and we are also grateful for what you guys do, and that you want to stay here and you want to improve your facility and make our community better. So thank you. Sandy, call the roll.
Trustee Lautner.
Yes.
Trustee Zara.
Yes.
Trustee Council.
Yes.
Trustee Sheehan.
Yes.
Trustee Stewart.
Yes.
Trustee Caputo.
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously, Mr. President.
Thank you, Sandy. Congratulations, you guys. And thank you for all that you do.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on. Thank you, trustee Zora. Engineering capital projects, trustee Stewart.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have 3 items up for discussion on this August report this evening. Unique Plumbing Company continue work on the Park Road water main replacement project. The water main installation and water service connections have been completed. The concrete sidewalks, driveways, and curb segments, as well as the pavement patching, were also completed. Black dirt has been placed in the parkways. Laying of sod and landscape restoration should commence in September as the weather permits. The village opened bids for the 31st Street Alley Water Main Project on August 14th. The low bidder was Suburban General Construction with a bid of $155,855. An 8-inch water main will be installed between the existing stub and Murphy's Auto Service and the west side of Newberry Avenue. The project will be completed this construction season. Lastly, the village opened bids for the Morgan Avenue and Harrison Avenue resurfacing project on August 28th. The low bidder was K5 Construction Company with a bid of $479,966. The project involves reconstruction of deteriorated drainage structures, replacing sections of curb and gutter, driveways, and sidewalks, and resurfacing both Harrison Avenue and Morgan Avenue between 26th Street and 29th Street. The project will be financed by MFT funds and will be completed this construction season. And that concludes my report this evening, Mr. President.
Thank you, Trustee Stewart. Moving on, Public Safety Committee, Trustee Caputo.
Thank you, President DeCipio. I have a report for the Police Department first, followed by the Fire Department report. In addition to the attached statistic summaries that we have in the packet, the following items are being reported to apprise the village president and board of trustees on current police department operations throughout the month of August 2023. The total number of crimes this year are 2.3% lower than last year at this time, with 214 reported this year compared to 224 last year. Traffic enforcement is at 1,261 total tickets issued through August of 2023. Overall police activity for the month of August of 2023 is at 931 incidents. Of those 931 total incidents, 83 were assists to the fire department, 223 were self-initiated building or park checks, 90 were traffic stops, 34 were school district fingerprintings, and 38 were closed home checks. Deputy Chief Strezzo and Commander Morocco attended the Illinois Association of Police Chiefs of Police Midwest Training Expo. The police department hired 3 new police officers, all of who have begun the police academy. We welcome Spencer Olson, Jackie Hopt, and Eve Sanchez to the team. Department members completed their required Lexipol daily training bulletins and Police Law Institute training throughout the month of August 2023. The Axon interview room equipment was installed, and on Tuesday, August 1st, the police department held its annual National Night Out event at Memorial Park. The event was well attended by residents of all ages. The chief attended a meeting at the Cook County District 4 Courthouse regarding the Pretrial Fairness Act. And on Saturday, October 28th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the lobby of the LaGrange Park Village Hall, the police department, in coordination with the DEA, will be hosting a drug take-back event. Residents can discard expired prescriptions or over-the-counter medications by placing the pills into a baggie and disposing them into an approved container located in the lobby of the village. Reminder, please, no needles, pills, pill bottles, or liquids will be accepted. And please follow the police department on Facebook page at LaGrange Park Police Department, our Twitter account at LaGrange Park PD, and Instagram at LaGrange Park PD as well. A friendly reminder about securing one's personal property at all times. Please lock your vehicles and residence, especially during the overnight hours. If you're going on vacation, please utilize the new online vacation watch portal, frontlinepss.com/LaGrange Park, or log onto the village website and access the portal under the police department page. If you do not have internet access, please feel free to fill out the vacation watch card at the police department between the hours of 9 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. And that concludes the police report. Now on to the fire department report. As requested for insertion in the village board meeting packet, the following is a brief summary of the police department highlights for the month of August. As usual, a more comprehensive monthly report is kept within the department for review. EMS incidents for the month are 171. There have been 1,241 year-to-date compared to 1,140 year-to-date in 2022. Fire rescue incidents this month were 51. There have been 375 year-to-date compared to 392 in the year of 2020. Fire personnel assisted with National Night Out with bringing fire apparatus and Sparky. Personnel attended safety and response training at the ComEd substation in LaGrange with the LaGrange Fire Department. Personnel also began conducting their annual cone course drivers training. A crew participated in Westmont's annual fire truck cruising nights with our engine number 1221. Firefighter Evan Lilly brought our former engine 422 to the event and won an award for Best Antique. Congratulations. The fire department attended the fundraiser for the Kenny family at the Hop District Community Brewing. A final fire sprinkler inspection was conducted for 2 renovated areas of the village market. Also, hydrostatic pressure testing was completed of the main fire sprinkler distribution lines and the new parking garage at Plymouth Place. The fire chief attended the International Association of Fire Chiefs Conference, Fire Rescue International in Kansas City, where he attended various presentations and classes. Staff participated in back-to-school events at Forest Road, Brook Park, and Ogden Avenue schools. Our 1992 former engine number 1222 was picked up by American Fire Equipment, who purchased the engine through Wisconsin Surplus Auction. It will be used at a department in Iowa. And the fire chief attended the annual Lyons Township High School articulation breakfast at South Campus along with the police chief, assisted at North Campus with a violent critical incident drill. Incidents to note: on Friday, August the 4th at 1:04 p.m., we responded to a vehicle crashing along 31st Street near Possum Hollow Woods, where a car went off the road and ended up in trees, initially trapping the driver. On Sunday, August 13th at 9:22 p.m., we responded to a home on Castle Circle for a fire that occurred on a stovetop. Firefighters cut gas and electric to the damaged range, removed the damaged microwave, and removed smoke. And finally, on Monday, the 14th of August at 5:06 a.m., the fire department was called to Phillips Flowers by a fire alarm system. Upon gaining entry, firefighters discovered a refrigeration unit overheated with burning up wiring within, activating a smoke detector in the area. And that concludes my 2 reports for the day, President.
Thank you, Trustee Caputo. Public Works Committee, Trustee Sheehan.
Thank you, Mr. President. August, staff replaced 2 lead water service lines with copper pipe, along with the repair of 2 water main breaks. 2 repairs were administered to catch basins, including structures and lateral lines. The village brush collection program continued and was conducted the first full week of the month. Permit parking signage was installed on the west side of town. New signs were installed on all streets from Brainerd to LaGrange Road, from Harding to Brewster. Street striping was performed by Superior Striping to refresh crosswalks, stop bars, median lines, and parking stalls. The Sherwood Village sign was removed from Scottdale Road and LaGrange Road due to its deteriorating condition. The sign and brick wall will receive restoration and then will be reinstalled. Staff completed many tree removals in-house and will continue throughout the year. Contractors are also working on larger tree removals, which require the equipment that the village does not possess. Street patching and parkway restorations were completed from previous utility excavations. GIS work has continued collecting data on village-owned assets, along with continued training throughout the village. Water meters were read in Section 2. 15 monthly bacterial water samples were taken, along with UCMR5 samples. Various water and sewer work orders were completed, along with resident tree concerns and general construction inquiries. Routine maintenance to the department's fleet and equipment was performed, as well as the police and fire vehicles. We have 2 items, Mr. President. The first one be the 2023 leaf loading, transportation, and disposal. Staff is seeking the board's approval to enter into a new contract with Landscape Material and Firewood Sales, Inc. for the 2023 leaf disposal program. Each year, the village hires a contractor to dispose of the leaves removed from the streets and stockpiled by the Public Works crews. Last year, staff solicited pricing from vendors that perform leaf hauling for municipalities and received only 2 proposals. Landscape Material won the contract and provided excellent service to us and our neighbors, the Village of LaGrange. Landscape Materials provided a letter that they are willing to hold their pricing from last year at the rate below of $900 cost per truckload. In this fiscal year, the village has budgeted in Public Works Fund, Refuse Collection and Disposal, $170,62300, $36,000 for the village's annual leaf removal program. Staff recommends the village board approve a contract with Landscape Materials Firewood Sales, Inc. Therefore, Mr. President, make a motion, 1, to enter into a contract with Landscape Material and Firewood Sales, Inc. for the disposal of leaves at $900 per truckload and not to exceed $36,000. 2, to authorize the village manager to execute the necessary contract documents.
Have a motion, do I have a
Second.
Motion and a second, discussion, trustee Sheehan?
Thank you, Mr. President. They served LaGrange and they served us well last year, and the fact that they're holding the price, I see no reason why we wouldn't support this.
Thank you, trustee Sheehan. Any comments from any of the board members? Seeing none, Sandy, call the roll.
Trustee Lautner? Yes. Trustee Zora?
Yes.
Trustee Council?
Yes.
Trustee Sheehan?
Yes.
Trustee Stewart?
Yes.
Trustee Caputo?
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously, Mr. President.
Thank you, Sandy.
Okay. Next, we go out the electric supply bids, water plant, street lighting, and additional accounts. Purpose is to seek village board approval for electricity supply bid for the water plant pumping station, lighting account, the Zero Kemen light and 28th, I guess, is an internal notation that ComEd uses for all street lights hooked up to their poles throughout town. And 4 additional accounts, 619 31st Street, 1018 31st Street, 223 31st Street, and 3147 Prairie in Brookfield. In January 2007, ComEd eliminated subsidized fixed-rate electricity service for non-franchise municipal accounts. To bring a cost-effective electricity supply alternative to municipalities in Northern Illinois, the Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus and Energy Choices, and now Satori Energy, joined forces to create the Metropolitan Energy Collaborative. The collaborative sought supply from many pre-qualified suppliers to secure lower price electricity for municipalities. The Metropolitan Energy Collaborative continues to provide a cost-effective electricity supply to municipalities for water stations and street lighting accounts. Since 2007, the village has utilized the services through the collaborative to purchase electricity from an alternate energy supplier for its largest account, the water plant pumping station. Satori Energy also reviewed all accounts this year and recommended purchasing power for a lighting account plus 4 additional village accounts. The current rate will be in the range of 5.5 to 6 cents per kilowatt hour compared to the ComEd current rate of 7 cents per kilowatt hour for small business accounts. Presently, AEP Energy, the supply is backed by 100% in renewable energy certificates, or RECs, supplies the village's electricity for these accounts. This 3-year supply contract expires in December of 2023. Satori Energy solicited preliminary bids on the village's behalf for 1-, 2-, and 3-year supply contracts. This memorandum includes an attachment from Satori, which includes a table reflecting the prices bid by several energy suppliers on September 13th, 2023. Energy suppliers will not hold their prices firm for more than 24 hours. Accordingly, it will be necessary to solicit bids again on the day of the board meeting today. The staff has provided the board with the bid results, and it's up here at our dais at our individual seats. The village board may choose the lowest bidder with an option for renewable energy certificates. Selecting this option will add an additional annual cost where the amount depends on the contract term. Without the REC options, about 10% of the supply comes from green energy resources. Our consultant explained that the Illinois Commerce Commission bonds all suppliers. Satori Energy first screens suppliers and does not request bids from any vendor they do not recommend. They also screen contracts in advance and require language changes if they have a negative impact on their clients. Satori Energy assures the members of the collaborative that they would not recommend anyone they believe to be unreliable. Attorney Keating has reviewed the contract with AEP and approved it as written. Staff recommendation, once staff receives, which we have, the pricing's attached, staff recommends entering into a contract with AEP Energy. Therefore, Mr. President, at this time, we make a motion to approve a contract with AEP Energy for electrical energy supply for several village accounts with a 3-year contract backed by 100% green energy and allow the village manager to execute the necessary documents.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Discussion. Trustee Sheehan?
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for the updated numbers on the pricing. You know, when we went out to do this 3 years ago, it was 4.4 cents, 0.44 cents per kilowatt term. And now Commonwealth Edison's price, as mentioned, is 0.7 cents per kilowatt hours. I support this. It goes along with the village being green and following with the previous efforts to keep that going. So I support this. Again, the prices are right there, so I support this.
Great. Thank you, Trustee Sheehan.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Any comments from the board? Anybody want to make additional? Trustee Lautner?
No, I think this has been a very successful program for us in the past, and we've had good results of this, and even received some village awards as a result of our green energy use. So I appreciate the efforts in bringing this together, and I think it's a good move to move forward.
Thank you, Trustee Lautner. Any other comments? Seeing none, Sandy, call the roll.
Trustee Lautner?
Yes.
Trustee Zora?
Yes.
Trustee Council?
Yes.
Trustee Sheehan?
Yes.
Trustee Stewart?
Yes.
Trustee Caputo?
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously, Mr. President.
Thank you, Sandy.
That concludes my report for this month, Mr. President.
Thank you, Trustee Sheehan. Moving on to Finance Committee, Trustee Lautner.
Thank you, Mr. President. This evening I have the financial report through August 2023, which is completed 4 months or 33% of our fiscal year 2024, which began May 1 and concludes on April 30 of 2024. The detailed revenue and expense report and comparison charts were also attached to our board packet. Fiscal year to date general fund revenue is $2.5 million or $2,563,935 or 24% of the annual revenue budget and $124,354, which is 4.6% less than last year. Property tax receipts are $79,405 greater than last year, and that's due to the timing issues with Cook County's tax extension and collection. Other local taxes are lower by $36,929 or 11.1%, and that's due to lower utility and telecom tax receipts. Our intergovernmental receipts for the period are down $45,619, which is 3.2% from last year. The primary cause for this variance is income tax receipts, and that's which are $63,006 or 7.2% lower than last year. Sales tax and use tax are both above last year, while our personal property tax replacement tax is lower. Licenses and registration fees are down $12,777 or 34.3%, and that's due to some earlier vehicle sticker receipts in the prior year. Our permit receipts are at $128,692 or 34.3% less than the prior year, and that is primarily due to the higher permit fees received last year for the Plymouth Place project. Charges for services are $81,417 or 19.7% lower than last year, and that's due to the timing of the Water Tower cellular lease payments, and this difference we anticipate will resolve in September. And our fine revenue is slightly lower than last year. Miscellaneous revenue is at $102,629, or 199% greater than last year, and that's primarily due to the increased interest income. And our total general fund expenditures are at 28.2% of the annual budget, and that's $178,210, or 6.6% greater than last year. And importantly, all departments are within budget expectations. And that concludes the finance report through August 2023 of this year.
Thank you, Trustee Lautner. Great having you back.
Thank you.
Okay, other reports. Our village clerk, Sandy.
I have nothing to report at this time, Mr. President.
Our village treasurer.
No report tonight, Mr. President.
Our village engineer.
No report.
And our village attorney.
No report, Mr. President.
And commercial revitalization committee, Trustee Stewart.
Okay, sorry. IDOT survey and interactive map. The Grange Park residents can still provide input on the IDOT's statewide active transportation plan. Please visit idot.illinois.gov to take the online survey by September 30th, and for more information on how this plan will create a vision and identify measures to improve walking and biking infrastructure throughout the state. The CRC committee, our next meeting will take place on October 10th, Tuesday at 6 p.m. at Village Hall. Businesses and members of the public are invited to attend and provide input on how the village can best support new and existing business and enhance the commercial areas in LaGrange Park. Village staff will also provide updates on implementation of the Village Market Streetscape Improvement Plan, as well as potential discussion on project prioritization. And that concludes my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Trustee Stewart. Motion to approve committee and collectors reports as presented.
So moved.
All those in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
Okay. I just have a couple items. Julia and I met with the park, Julia Chief and I met with the Park District. Jessica, Bob Cordy, Julia, myself, and Chief met to discuss certain issues regarding the Park District. And that was last Friday. Then we met with Joel, as I mentioned earlier. I attended the Burger Bash. I want to thank Chief for putting on such a great event. Sandy was at the front of the door collecting all the money. She did a great job. And it was great seeing our officer, Pete Roche, there. He looked really good considering what he'd been through, and it was just nice having him there. So thank you, Chief, for all that you guys do. Chief?
I think right around 7,000.
Beautiful. Awesome. Thank you.
Let's see what else. I attended the IMO conference with Julia, and an aging care benefit that Friday night. That's all that I have. Any public participation? Roman, nothing? Thank you for being here, Roman. Thank you. Any new business? Motion to move into executive session?
I'd like to make a motion to enter into a closed session meeting for the purpose of discussing the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body in accordance with 5 ILCS 120/2C1, not to return to regular session until the next regularly scheduled board meeting on October 10th, 2023 at 7:30 p.m. in this room.
Motion to have a second?
Second.
Sandy, call the roll?
Trustee Lautner.
Yes.
Trustee Zara.
Yes.
Trustee Council.
Yes.
Trustee Sheehan.
Yes.
Trustee Stewart.
Yes.
Trustee Caputo.
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously, Mr. President.
Thank you, Sandy. We will move into executive session.